that we are recording. Okay. So when you are trying to file the payee return, this is like you saw what we did. You go to our website, www.zra.org.zm. You go to login. And then once the account opens, it opens like this. Straight away, go to where it says returns. And then you go to where it says file returns. So you select where it says file returns. And then you have this template. This template, you have to, you're supposed to pick the tax type which applies to you. So in this case, we are saying pay as you earn. And then you select the account name. And in this particular case, our account name is 5-Star Insurance Brokers Limited. And now you have to select the period. So we can say this is because this is September. You're supposed to file a month in a month, 14 days, within 14 days of the month that follows the month of transactions. So in this case, the month that we are trying to talk about is August. So you select August. Immediately, it reminds you to say you are about to file a return which was due on or before 10th September. So for payee, we know that you are supposed to file on or before 10th. So you simply say yes or okay to that. And then you move next. It asks you, do you have ZDA approved investments? So we have some businesses that that are in priority areas, like in the economic zones. Those whose opening were facilitated by Zambia Development Agency. So they have certain rebates and commissions which apply. And as a result of that, the return asks, because if they say yes, then the return will have to populate the rebates which apply. But in this case, we'll say no. And then, are you liable to skills development levy? Skills development levy applies to all registrations who are registered for income tax. By income tax, we mean the threshold for income tax registration is 800,000 kwacha and above. So if an institution has exceeded 800,000 kwacha and above and they are registered for income tax, they should say yes to this, unless they are exempt. And for exempt, we have government institutions, and also we have public benefit organizations approved. They must be approved. It's not just a question of being.
I'm sorry, you're breaking.
Hello? I'm breaking?
You're breaking. Yes.
Okay. Am I audible now? Am I audible now?
Yes, you can go ahead.
Okay, so I was saying.
But this part.
Hello?
Oh, it's breaking. Hello, I can get you now, but the line keeps breaking. Hello? Hello?
Okay. Hold on. We are trying to look at connectivity. Just looking at the connectivity. Just
having a challenge with the network, eh? Okay.
Okay, now how am I now? Am I audible enough?
Very.
Okay, so what I was saying is that I'll be a little bit slow. So what I was saying is that for skills development levy, it applies to all persons, meaning that all organizations and individuals who are actually registered for income tax. Now, income tax, the threshold for registration is 800,000 and above. That is a turnover, annual turnover of 800,000 kwacha and above. So all those institutions who are making such a turnover must register for income tax. And therefore, once they apply for that, they are also liable, as long as they are registered for pay as you earn, they must as well should click on this tax. Well, it's a means of collection. We can't call it a tax really, but it's a means of collecting money, which is called skills development levy. It's a levy, okay? So then this will apply to them. But we have some institutions which are exempt, and government institutions, and they are exempt, and then public benefit organizations, those which are approved. Please, we must underscore that they must be approved. It is not just anyone, but those that are approved. So I think at this point now we can move. So in this case, I think Lutanda came from, she said she's coming from an institution which is an act of parliament. So for now, we'll say no, so that it doesn't have to calculate skills development levy. So then we can then say next. Are we able to see the schedule?
There's a document loading.
Yet.
Are we there now?
Yes, we are. I am.
Okay. Okay, so this is the schedule for pay as you earn. So basically, it's a very simple schedule. It has all the information needed for you to submit just here. So I'll begin with the first column, which is identity type. So there's a drop down arrow on the identity type. So you choose which method or which identity type that you want to use in this particular return. If you decide to use NRCs, that is National Registration Card Number, then you must go on for everyone. If you decide to use TPIN, you must again go on for everyone. So that is the catch. You cannot mix where you say this one, you say this one, you say this one. So you make a decision based on the information available. So at this particular point, we shall decide to use NRC number. Okay. So in that particular case, we shall put in the NRC, or perhaps maybe let us use the TPIN. Let's just use the TPIN. Yeah, to be easier because I have one here. So if we decide to use a TPIN, I have an example of a TPIN here. You just type it in. Don't mind about this one because it is self-populating. I've been using it several times. So you type it in and it gives you the name. Once you type in, just click anywhere. It will actually give the name of that particular individual. And then you go to nature of employment. There is a drop down arrow there. So there are three options. There is temporal, there is casual, there is permanent. So as you know that Paye relates to all these categories. As long as you have employees, whether permanent, whether casual, or whether temporal, in a month that you are paying, you must withhold the payee and submit it. So there are those categories. So in this case, we can just say permanent. And then we go to the gross amounts. Okay. So the gross amount, by the time that you are coming to fill in this information, you should have done the computation of how much payee applies to an individual separately, because this return does not have a self-populating calculator. So you, first of all, before you even preparing this, you use our tax calculator on our website. We shall go to it. And then you calculate. Perhaps if we are to go to there, just hold on. Anyway, we'll go there later. So we can put in an amount, the tax, the gross amount. By gross amount, we mean the salary which somebody gets plus all the emoluments that are appearing on the payslip, all the emoluments, except those which are exempt. Like in a particular month, if you have paid gratuity, you have paid pension, yes, then you may not have to include that amount. But all the other emoluments must be applied. Let's take it, for instance, that this person gets this amount, 6,000 kwacha, 110. Okay, so you type it in there. And then you go to the chargeable emoluments. Now, chargeable emoluments usually are the same as gross amounts. Please underscore what I am saying, usually. Unless in months where you have exempt payments. So what this means is that if, say, for instance, in that month that you are paying, the salary, you are paying this individual also in the same month, the gratuity maybe for mid-term or the end of contract gratuity. So if, say, the salary itself, the other emoluments and as well as the tax is at say, for instance, 6,110. If you remove the gratuity, maybe you say the money which is chargeable to tax is 4,400 and kwacha. Why are you saying it's 4,400 kwacha? It is because you have removed the exempt payments like gratuity, like pension. So you only leave an amount which is supposed to be subjected to tax. So that is what we mean by chargeable emoluments. But in an event where you don't have exempt payments, then the gross amount will be the same as the chargeable amount because you don't have exemptions in that particular case. Another way in which we can have a difference in terms of gross emoluments and the chargeable emoluments is where it applies to the disabled, the members of the disability association. As you know, those individuals who are affiliated to the disability association, they are given a rebate, a tax rebate of 500 kwacha per month. So meaning that 500 kwacha of their money, of their monthly income should never be subjected to tax. So in an organization, if you have such a member who has given you proof through the membership that they are a member of the disability association, then if their gross salary is 6,110, you must subtract 500 kwacha from that, meaning that the chargeable amount in that particular case will be somewhere in the region of 5,610, somewhere there. So that is what you charge to tax because they are exempt by an amount of 500 kwacha. Okay, so that is what we do. So let's take it that this individual has got that facility. So then you go to total tax credit. So in Zambia, we don't have these tax credits. A tax credit, if anything, it is the same as what we have talked about. Like for our friends who are the disabled, you would have already considered that by talking about that 500 kwacha, which we are talking about, because it's a credit on their part. So if you want, what you can do is here on the chargeable amounts, you can put the same amount, 6,000. And then on the tax credit, you can put 500 kwacha there. This part reduces the amount of tax that one has to pay. That's what a tax credit. It means that if you put 1,000 kwacha there, the tax, the chargeable amount will be reduced by that amount which you have actually put in there. But in most cases, for most of us individuals, if you are not a member of this association, here we just indicate 0. Then tax deducted. This is where you actually now indicate the tax that you would have calculated using the tax bands. If we look at this amount, 6,110, we are taxing 2,000 kwacha, 110, because the first 4,000 kwacha is taxed at 0%. So you find that the tax component in that will just be 600 kwacha, 20 kwacha, 620. Yeah. So you indicate it like that. Then tax adjusted. Tax adjusted is where This for most Paye applications, and I think even some institutions, they will show the aggregate taxes that you would have paid in terms of Paye from 1st January up to December, and it will be showing that's the English. The accumulation of that amount will actually be showing as adjusted. But we advise that this column, don't use it, because even on our system, it's not being used. So you just put a 0 amount in there. So if you have another entry to do, you just add a row. You come here and add a row. So then you can put another individual in there and another individual, and you put the documents as the figures as we have actually highlighted. If you don't need a row, you simply can delete. There is a delete function. You delete. Then if you have entered all of them, you simply say next. Okay. Now, before we go to next, I want us to look at one aspect. Because there are some institutions who have a lot of employees, okay? So you cannot manage typing in one by one. So what you do is on your side, you will have a schedule which will begin preparing maybe, from maybe 15th of the month before the payday. You'll be entering information slowly. So what you need to do is you go to where it says bulk upload, okay? Bulk upload, you choose, there is this, the upload file. You click on the upload file. It immediately downloads the upload file, this one. So then you just open it, okay? Are you able to see my upload file?
Yes.
Okay. So the upload file has the same information with the schedule. Okay. So it has the identity type, like we said. So if you choose to use T-pins, you put T-pins, you type in T-pins for everyone. If you choose to use NRCs, you type in NRCs for everyone. It has, so the identity type, then there you type the NRC or the T-pin, then the names will self-populate once you just key in that information. Then the employment nature, here you type.
Sorry, Salute. Salute, are you sharing the screen? The screen is not visible. I don't think it's being shared.
Okay. Is that the case for everyone?
I'm able to see the screen. I'm able to see it.
Either in check
You are
your
able to
connection.
see the Excel screen, Innocent.
Innocent, where are you?
The Excel, no.
Hey, what are you seeing?
I'm seeing just the portal.
Lutanda, are you seeing anything?
No, I'm seeing the very the one that you was explaining earlier.
Excel is not yet showing.
Okay, I will share the Excel. What about now?
We are seeing your name.
Okay.
Oh, I'm saying.
All right, just hold on. What about now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So this, I was saying that this Excel document is just a replicate of what we have on the schedule, except this time we want you to fill this information beforehand before you come to, so you can be doing this one slowly because you have so many entries to make, but the information is the same. And please, when you load this information, do not get rid of the headers. These narrations on top: identity type, NRC, full name, employment nature, gross emoluments. Don't get rid of them, because the moment you get rid of them, then it destroys all that you are trying to do. It will fail to populate. So once you type in all the information, all you need is to save it, and then you upload it on the system. I'll just show you how that is done. Okay. So once you go there, you come here where we say, but once you have finished typing and you have closed it, you have saved it, you come to where it says bulk upload, and then you choose the file. Okay. And you just pick it where you have saved it and open it. It will actually populate in the columns there. So that is if you have so many entries. But if you have a few entries, you can simply type in, just add a row, type in and move. So once you have completed like that, we move, we say next. Are you able to see this part? Employee information. Are we
It's
there?
still processing. It's still processing.
And your line has started breaking again.
Oh, I don't know what the problem is with our network today. Are we there yet?
No. Okay. Okay, there we are. Ruth, are you there?
Let's in progress.
So we are there now?
Yes.
Okay, so this part only shares the information as per what you entered. So it will calculate it will give us the gross amount, and then it will calculate the amount of, it will add up the amount of tax declared as per your information which you are filling in. Like I said, for tax deducted, we depend on you as the person who is entering the information. What the return will simply do is to add up all that you have keyed in, and then it will give a summation of how much you are supposed to pay. Had we picked skills development levy, it would have shown in this part where we are saying skills development levy, it would have calculated, maybe for the sake of interest, okay, yeah, anyway. It would have, if had we picked, it would have actually shown us in this particular part the exact amount of skills development levy. But since we didn't pick it, it has not shown. And then it will give this other part, other information. So on the other information, there is number of employees at the beginning of the month. So you indicate the number of employees that were there at the beginning of the month. Then there is number of new employees employed in the month. You can also put, and number of employees that separated. You can put that information. If there is none, you just say nil or zero. And then number of employees at the end of the month. This one, you have to take the number of employees that you have actually recorded in the return. So in the return, it does not mean that you only include, because this has been a tendency. People sometimes only enter information related to the employees whose whose income has gone beyond the 4,000 kwacha, because they feel that if someone is getting 4,000 kwacha and below, they are exempted. No, they are not exempted. Every money, that is all the income that arises from employment, is actually taxed. So even if someone is getting 4,000 and below, you must indicate in there, except when it comes to tax deducted. That is where you put zero, because they are getting, there's no money to tax all that which they are actually getting. If they are getting 2,000 kwacha 100, you times zero, it gives us zero. So you just indicate zero in that particular case, and then you come to that. So I want to just emphasize that point. Everyone, as long as they are working in that particular organization, you need to submit for them pay as you, and even if they are getting less than 4,000 kwacha. So at that particular point, we can now say finish. There is a button in the corner which says finish. So you can, okay, so it reminds us to say this information has to be filled in. So here we had one, we assume we had one employee, and number of employees, new number of new employees, we say 0. Number of employees that separated. If you had any that separated, maybe they resigned, you can say 2. Okay. The number at the end, it's 1. That one will, okay. Sorry, at the beginning, because you said that the beginning you had 1, and then you are saying that two have separated, so the return has refused. So, okay, we had one and no one has separated. And at the end, we also have one in that particular case. Then we can finish our return by submitting like that. So the return has been submitted. You can view the acknowledgement. Okay. Are we able to see the acknowledgement?
Not yet. Okay.
We are able to see it?
Yes.
Yes, it's showing.
Yeah, so it shows the acknowledgement. So that is the amount of money which you have to submit to government. Okay, so that is how you submit the pay as you earn return. Let me just go to the, I want to go to the tax calculator on our website so that we just appreciate that aspect as well. It's a place where you need to begin from. You make sure that you calculate. Okay, so let me share the screen so that I take you to our website. Are you able to see the website?
Yes.
It's showing.
All right. So that's our website. So you go to, here we have all these aspects. So in this particular case, go to where it says tax tools. Just put the cursor where it says tax tools. Then you are able to go to where it says tax calculator. So you click on tax calculator. So it gives us the calculator. Are you able to see the calculator?
Yes, I'm able to.
Okay. So all you need to have in your possession is somebody's pay slip or the pay information as per your organization's payroll. So you just basic salary. If the basic salary, we said, if the basic salary is 4,000, and we are saying that education allowance plus transport allowance and maybe school children allowances is 2,000, everything together is coming to 2,100, 2,110. So that is, you just put everything together like that. And then it is able to calculate, just click anywhere. You are able to get the salary, what somebody should go home with, and the tax component. So our interest is on total tax deductions. total tax deductions. So what you are going to get yourself as you are preparing the return is this aspect, meaning that this person here is supposed to pay 593 kwacha as the tax. So that is the information which you take to there where we are saying tax deducted. So you put that information there. Never mind about other deductions because we have included also
You're
the,
breaking, I can't get you.
okay. Okay, so what I was saying,
Hello?
hello, hello, are you able to get me?
Hello?
Are you able to get me?
Can get you now. I don't know. I can get you now. I don't know about the others.
Okay. All right, so I was saying that your interest should be on total tax deduction. That is the figure that you have to get and put it in the return where it says tax deducted. Don't pay particular attention to other deductions because we have also just, for interest sake, we have added the 5% NAPSA deduction, which is 5% of your gross salary. But that does not come to ZRI, and therefore you should not pay particular attention to that. It's for NAPSA. It just there to show the taxpayer how much they will go home with, at least before other deductions, if they don't have loans and other deductions on their payslip, after we remove the tax component and also this NAPSA thing. So your interest must be 593. That is what you take to the payslip, to the return. So that is how we calculate pay as you earn. And these are the tools that we use to actually calculate somebody's salary and the deductible amount. So at this particular point, I will stop here and then I will just invite comments from my colleagues. They can add, and then if there are questions, you can as well ask. So the floor is open. Any additions, any comments?
So can I come in, Salute?
Yes, please.
So for some institutes of marketing, from what I've seen, they've never filed in a return. So the way forward is to start from where Tax Online 2 started, or how do they go about it?
Well, when we need to check their effective date of registration, we need to check the effective date of registration and advise them to submit returns from that date. If they registered even before tax online, the current one that we are using was before that, then they must go on, they must submit some returns, not new, some returns, either new, I don't know what was happening, let me not say. They must submit for those periods which are not submitted. And then they should submit also from from 1st December to date on the current system. So that is how we should. Perhaps in answering that question, I can also handle the question that she referred to about exemptions. When an institution is created as an act of parliament, it does not necessarily stop them from, you know, meeting the tax obligations. Of course, the act will specify or if anything, their registration will specify the kind of exemptions that they have. Let me give, for example, Zambia Revenue Authority. Zambia Revenue Authority is it was created out of an act. Okay, it is an act. It was created out of an act of parliament. But it does not stop ZRA from paying statutory obligations. ZRA, once when they are buying, for instance, when they are buying from anywhere we are buying, we have to pay VAT because we are not an agent, a tax withholding agent. So when we are buying the expenses that we are buying, we have to pay VAT, and therefore we can also be registered for VAT if we want, so that we account for that VAT. We have another company created under ZRA. We have other, like that company meets the obligations. If, say, that company which is created under ZRA is doing something, they can still go ahead and, you know, meet all the obligations, tax obligations. So the registration will specify the kind of things that you are exempted from. So perhaps at this particular time, I would simply want to find out from Lutanda, what is your nature of business? You said it is Zambia Institute of what? I can't remember exactly.
We're Zambia Institute of Marketing. We're the regulators of marketing practice in Zambia.
Mm-hmm.
We exist the same way that you have LAS, that you have Zika.
Okay.
So
yes.
Yes.
Okay. So if it is in
The
those,
one.
if it is in those lines, they are, you see, you still need to submit the statutory obligations.
Yes.
You so like for instance, you are registered. I can see you are registered for Paye.
Yes.
Okay. Now, say let's give an example. You are an institute of marketing, meaning that you can be contracted to offer consultancy services as an institute in marketing.
Yes.
Right or wrong?
Yes, we can.
Yes. So for that, for the income which is coming from consultant services, you are still liable. You must pay withholding taxes on that particular. So should you involve in other businesses, you can still go ahead and meet the obligations. Yes, of course, because you are a government, it's like you may not pay, even when it comes to income tax, only those portions for maybe extra services that you are carrying on can you actually pay the taxes. So I hope that really clarifies. For extra incomes that you are making out of the scope for which you are registered, for those you are supposed to meet the statutory obligations. So for Paye, you are on point. Oh, I've seen a hand from Pelon. Pelon, you wanted to say something?
Yes, I just wanted to clarify something that you had nicely put, where you indicated from when they can file in returns from this system. You mentioned first December. You forgot to just mention the year. So from 1st December 2019 to date, you can file the returns online. And then on the taxes also, apologies, I just went to look for you, and I've noticed that they are registered for withholding tax as well as income tax and pay as you earn. So probably it's just how to manage taxes. That is what is needed on their part.
Yes. So you should submit. So I think the next session that they should have is to perhaps take them through. You can take it up, that one, Madam Walusaka. Make sure they know how to submit the income tax return. On that one, they submit only for incomes, which if they, in that particular charge year, if they have, like we said, consultant services and other things, those which are outside the scope of registration, them being created out of an act of parliament, like they are saying, for those they must account for them. But in a charge year in which they do not have, then they cannot account for them. So we need to take them through. They should know how to submit an income tax return, how they can submit a new income tax return, how they can submit income tax return for those other incomes. Yes, so I think that is how we should proceed. Okay. Any other additions? Mrs. Sanga, your hand is still up.
Can I come in?
Come, please.
Okay. Besides what you said that they should file in the online return from 2019 up to date. So the previous from 2019 going backwards, they're supposed to do the manual, isn't it? If I'm
Yes.
not mistaken.
Yes, they need to submit manual.
You are getting us?
Yes. We said you need to submit manually. They need to submit manually. So they can, you can share the manual. You can share the manual returns, and then they can send to us on mail, and then we can just send them through to into HQ so that they are acknowledged. Any other questions?
Okay, sorry, I come in again.
Yes.
Another question is on the, I've seen they are registered for withholding tax.
Okay.
And
so they are registered for withholding tax. I think because of the nature of the institution itself, it is a specialized institution. So they can contract management and consultancy services, and meaning that they can hire, services which attract withholding taxes, and they can withhold. So we need to also take them through that return. Because when they hire, say for instance, they hire a consultant to work with them, before they pay that particular consultant, they should withhold specific amounts. Okay. Also, if they are renting, they should withhold. Okay. Yes. So those all the withholding taxes should apply in that particular case. So they should withhold and remit to ZRA. On the other hand, if they are the ones that are offering those services, the persons to whom they are offering those services must also withhold. And that information must be declared in the income tax return. So that is why they are registered for that one. It's the nature of the institution in which they are. So we must take them through on that one. Let's find out the kind of withholding tax they are registered for, whether it is for rentals or for others like management consultancy and others, commissions.
I think it's for rentals, but I'll come to check.
It's for rentals?
Yes.
So have you been withholding before?
No,
you
not that
rent?
I'm aware. Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, so Evelyn, that's your feedback. Please take interest. Okay, Lutanda, your comments?
Okay, I think everything was straightforward. I hope this is many of more engagements that we'll have. Well, I have questions. I'm just trying to take everything in. Well, I have more questions. I'm sure I know where to look and who to ask. It's been very interactive and I've learned a lot.
Thank you very much. Lutanda means star in my language.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which language is that, since we're now in one Zambia, one nation?
Ushi.
Oh, okay. The Kaondes, the Lundas, it's the same people. Anyway, it's one Zambia, one nation.
Yes. Yeah, so it's been
I just had one question though. Sorry to take you back. I think it was the nature of employee. It doesn't matter even if it's contractual, you still put it under permanent, because I didn't see a slot for that. There was temporal, there was casual and permanent, but there was no contract.
Okay, so contract, if someone is on contract for a year, that is permanent.
Permanent, all right, okay.
Yeah, that is actually permanent, because and usually permanents, usually contracts will have a long span. So that is actually permanent.
True.
Yeah,
that's what, okay.
Yeah. Well, if the contract is only for maybe a month or 2 or 3, then maybe we can put them under temporal.
Temporal, okay.
But if it is more than 6 months, that's almost permanent.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so thank you very much. We are all here. You Mrs. Mwalusaka, we arrange that we take you through in income tax and withholding tax. Yes.
I'll really appreciate that.
Okay, and any other taxes that you might be interested in, please continue sharing the light. You are our ambassador. This is what we do. Yes. So wherever you find people also that are interested, you quickly let Mrs. Mwalusaka know, you let Mrs. Chisanga know, you let me know, so that together we can build our country through taxes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mrs. Mwalusaka, you can close for us.
Oh. Hello? Hello?
You are very faint.
You're not getting me.
Yeah, now we can get, now we can
You are
get
better.
Okay. I think for me, I would like to say thank you so much for Lutanda, because we started this issue of going through this process, and it has dragged for a long time until now that we've come to a conclusion like this. Thank you for your time. Like Adrian has said, you are welcome. If there's anything that you want to consult, you are free to consult any of these consultants on this platform. For my colleagues, thank you so much for sharing this knowledge. I really appreciate. Don't give up. I'll keep on calling if there's anything. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So you are free to leave the meeting. We have another engagement just coming up now. So,
thank you.
Okay, you are free.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Felon, bye.
Bye, Innocent. Bye.
You didn't even say hi. You're traffic.
Leave
Zawulula.
Innocent, leave my daughter.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, bye-bye.